You made this decision long ago. The Empire cannot win. You're coming home to yourself.
Hello and welcome back to another We Ourselves video. Today I want to talk about this false narrative that Netflix is going to destroy the Hollywood theatrical experience. The truth is, Hollywood, the studios themselves, including WB, are the ones who have destroyed the theatrical experience. As I start out, I just want to give a thanks to the 4KO because I saw his recent video in which he discussed the very same thing. But I just want to start out by giving a shout out to the 4KO and all the work that he is doing on his channel. According to so many people who are shocked and appalled that Netflix has acquired Warner Brothers, the Hollywood theatrical experience will suffer and even be destroyed by Netflix. Never mind that we already had a forerunner to this deal when Amazon purchased the iconic MGM Studios for $8.45 billion in 2022. The sky did not fall and theatrical releases did not end. Yet the naysayers and the doomsday prognosticators are convinced that Netflix will destroy the theatrical experience, even though the studios, including WB, have been and will continue to be the ones destroying the theatrical experience. As a response to the pandemic, WB decided to adopt the day and date feature and committed its entire 2021 film theatrical lineup to that process. Now, WB did not create the day and date release idea. Other studios like Disney and Universal were already experimenting around with shortening the theatrical release window because they wanted content for their streaming services. But it was Warner Brothers who shot the practice into the stratosphere when they devoted their entire 2021 film lineup to that experiment. In doing so, they destroyed the traditional theatrical window for films, i.e. the theatrical experience. That theatrical window was 90 days. Well, WB totally destroyed that by having day and date releases. And even when they stopped the day and date strategy, they had reduced the traditional theatrical window down to 45 days. So they were the front runners in destroying the theatrical experience.
We're all villains here.
Marvel cut the Black Widow theatrical run in order to put it on Disney+. That resulted in Scarlett Johansson's successful lawsuit against Disney. Have any of us forgotten that Bob Iger, the granddaddy of them all, came on stage in 2019 and announced that all future Star Wars theatrical projects were canceled? That was 6 years ago. So we haven't had the experience of going to the theater and enjoying a new Star Wars theatrical release for 6 years. Marvel gave Netflix, of all people, permission to do the Defender series featuring street-level Marvel heroes. And over a 4-year period, Netflix was able to produce over 8,000 minutes of content. Some of the Defender shows had as many as 3 seasons. And it's some of the best Marvel writing prompted many MCU fans to demand that those shows be brought over to the Disney Plus service. And don't forget that you had the Agent Carter and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. TV series on network TV, not in the theaters. And let's look at another famous brand, Star Trek. Now, even though the original Star Trek started out as TV series under the Roddenberry and Berman eras, they had also transitioned into 10 theatrical releases. But when the rebooted system came along with J.J. Abrams under Paramount, they only made 3 movies before the series fizzled out and they turned exclusively to producing TV shows for their streaming service. The Lord of the Rings adaptation of the historic high fantasy books became a theatrical series, but now it's only on a streaming service. Percy Jackson, also an adaptation of a successful book series, only made 2 films before they fizzled out and the studio turned to a Disney Plus series. And I have a question for all the actors who are getting in on the anti-Netflix game. Did any of you complain when Netflix gave Martin Scorsese all the money to do his 3-hour-plus movie, The Irishman. And let's get back to WB, the biggest devil in these matters. David Zaslav, known for reality TV by the way, and not theatrical releases, came in and boxed or canceled a nearly complete Batgirl movie. So no theatrical experience there. When James Gunn became the head of the DC Studios, he announced that the remaining theatrical releases in the pipeline would not have anything to do with his new DCU. By doing that, he undermined the theatrical potential for those movies. And we know the results. The DC movie fans stayed home. And lastly, James Gunn of WB favored streaming services over films with his first 3 offerings for his new DC Studios. We got 1 movie, Superman, and 2 streaming properties, Creature Commandos and Peacemaker, for the HBO Max streaming network. At the same time, Gunn stalled Matt Reeves' much-anticipated sequel to The Batman. Clearly, Gunn's focus was more on the streaming services and shows rather than theatrical releases. So that's the true menace and enemy of the traditional theatrical experience. It's the studios like Disney, Universal, Paramount, and Warner Brothers, among others. The head of Netflix, Ted Sarandos, has already come out and said that nothing will change for WB. The movies and the shows that are already slated to come out will come out. And Netflix has already made deals with the theaters to put their original content in the theaters. And Netflix's focus on IMAX is not decimating the movie experience either. They have their finger on the pulse of the future. TVs are as cheap as ever, growing larger and with better visuals and quality and better sound systems. And don't forget, we all have personal devices. And with the economy in trouble and the cost of living higher than ever, nobody is running out of their home theaters to pay ridiculous prices for tickets, popcorn, and a soda, unless it's an experience. And when it comes to an experience at the theaters, that means 3D, 4DX, or IMAX. Netflix knows that you either go big or you stay home. And that's why advanced IMAX ticket sales for Christopher Nolan's movie, The Odyssey, sold out in 24 hours, a year before the movie is scheduled to release. Netflix isn't the villain here. The traditional Hollywood studios have decimated the theatrical experience. Don't believe the hype, don't believe the naysayers. But anyway, that's what I think. You can let me know what you think in the comments. And thank you for subscribing. And also please share and give the video a thumbs up. And I will see you the next time.
The sleeper has awakened!